Welcome to the project. Tonight, Aussie anger building after Trump refused to cut us a special deal. So should we cop it sweet or fight back?
Plus, the heartless local council targeting the most disadvantaged in the community. Is a fair go officially dead in this country?
Plus, the secret to sleep finally revealed. Find out how your nightly shut-eye stacks up.
And comedian Mel Bracewell swaps a cheap seat for a project desk. And she drops by. We are live from the lands of the Cooler Nation. It's a huge welcome back to Kate Langbrook and Nick Cody.
No sleep.
No sleep.
Can you smell beef?
What?
Beef?
Oh, what? Oh, no.
Have you been...
Because I've been making my own beef tallow.
Have you really?
And if you don't add enough essential oils, you do smell like a stale roast pan when you apply it to your skin.
It looks good, though.
That's
Oh, hold on. Sorry, you're rubbing it in your skin.
Yeah, 100%.
Isn't this your favourite perfume?
Yeah, it is. Actually, Lynx Australia.
Yeah, that's it. It's the equivalent for
Smell
me.
of steak. Beautiful stuff.
Let's get some news now. And tonight, the Pharmacy Guild is calling for bipartisan support to reduce the cost of medication on the pharmaceutical benefit scheme. Backed by other health groups, the Guild wants the price of a script slashed from $31 to just $19. They say it would save more than 12 million Aussies, $12.60 each on each prescription they fill.
Now, we welcome the Commonwealth Government's investment in general practice, but what is the point in having a bulk billed doctor visit if you cannot afford the prescriptions that your doctor writes?
Two Bank of Queensland subsidiaries have refused to pass on the Reserve Bank's interest rate cut. Virgin Money and BOQ Specialist are keeping their rates unchanged. Customers have been claiming on social media they're looking for better deals, and the bank's CEO copped a blast from Treasurer Jim Chalmers, who suggested the bank not treat customers like mugs.
Well, it's been a fan frenzy as the Australian Grand Prix kicked off in Melbourne today, with punters flocking to get a glimpse of their favourite drivers in the flesh. In the thick of the action was 16-year-old Sam Wyatt, dubbed the world's youngest F1 expert, who's back for another year of trackside analysis.
Sam White from the DRS zone here. It is an incredible atmosphere here, and it's only a Thursday. A lot of things going on, close times, as I said, incidents, cars going off the track. I couldn't have asked for more. Well, I could have, because Ferrari got a 1-2. Unbelievable end to the weekend.
Oh, we love him.
Wow.
We've been talking to Sam for years, and now he's landed an official commentator role at the Australian Grand Prix. Give it up for Sam Wyatt!
Mate, I must say, Sam, very speedy entrance, much like one of the cars in the pit lane.
Yeah,
the car was up here. Now,
Not that quick.
People certainly seem excited to be there. Have a look at this. Did you get caught up in the stampede this morning?
I didn't actually. We went in a little bit later. There's a lot going on. It was an early morning this morning. But yeah, it's crazy. It's great to see so many fans here on a Thursday. They've really turned it into a great event, you know, food, drinks, activation zones. Yeah, it's really great to see.
Look at you. You've already got your patted down.
I know. Hey, I feel like we've known you for years. We've been chatting to you since you were little. You were so sweet back then, and look at you now, you're all grown up. Your first official commentating gig, you must be amped.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm very excited for the opportunity tomorrow in FB2 for Track TV. Yeah, it's going to be good fun.
Are they paying you?
I can't disclose.
They better be.
What a pro!
They better
Cash in
be.
the sand, yeah! Don't tell the ATOs, sneaky dogs.
Do you work on phrases? If you're sitting there going, oh, when this happens, I'm going for this sort of thing. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say that. Any of this?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of preparation.
Like as fast as...
He's not giving anything away.
No, nothing.
We
That's
have-
actually an Aussie way to say it. Is as fast as.
Fast as. You stop there. One of our favourite F1 commentators, of course, is Martin Brundle.
Yeah.
He features on this show almost more than us, actually, and here's a sample.
Martin Brundle, Sky F1, good to see you. Welcome to our grid.
I have no idea what you said, but thank you.
Well, the deal is everybody has to speak on the grid, but, you know, hey.
I can't hear anything.
OK, all right, well, I'm sure it would have been extremely interesting. Oscar, bad luck in qualifying. You've got some work to do in the race.
Yeah, we'll try our best to see if we can get...
Esteban!
Do you take any inspiration from the great man?
I'd love to, although he gets away with a lot of things. I don't know if I can, but he's great to look up to. I love his grid walk things, and yeah, it's really cool.
Are you going to do a grid walk one day? Is that the dream?
I'd love to, although I'll leave that to him. It's very iconic. He can have that one.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, you know, Piastri, the hopes of the nation are riding on him.
Yeah.
What's your vibe?
I feel like he's very quick. We know that. McLaren are quick. It's hard to tell because it's the first race of the season and it hasn't been like that since before COVID, but you'd expect McLaren to be quick. I'd expect Piastri up there. A podium would be nice, a first podium here. Maybe a win, who knows? That'd be great to see.
Yes.
Well, it's a race, so being quick, I think, helps. That's just my little tip. You can have that.
Another catchphrase.
Yeah.
Fast wins.
Yeah, it's good. Hey, Sam, all the best with it. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's time for a break. We'll see you right after this.
Back onto the project.
Well, former cricketer Stuart McGill is facing the possibility of jail time after being convicted of knowingly taking part in a $330,000 cocaine deal. The jury found him guilty of setting up a meeting between his partner's brother and his drug dealer, but the 54-year-old was acquitted of a more serious charge relating to large-scale commercial supply. He remains on bail, awaiting sentencing.
It seems the White Lotus effect is real. Since season 3, which was set in Thailand, was released last month, there's reportedly been an uptick in people keen to learn Thai. An online language school says its monthly search numbers have gone from 48,000 5 years ago to 71,000. Hotels in Thailand have also reported a notable increase in web traffic and bookings.
Has a TV show ever made you learn a language or want to travel to a place?
But Breaking Bad had an interesting effect in our house.
Mum loves caravanning for some reason. By herself.
My husband is now studying teaching. I'll leave that with you.
A science teacher too?
I noticed though, Kate dropped a little bit of Saudi car. I said Saudi cup.
Yes,
hello
you
at the
do.
start. Cop and carb.
Yeah.
Cop and car,
Yeah.
cop and car.
You're really nailing the accent.
Yeah, and then the other Thai I know, one big chang, thanks. And that's pretty much, that sorted me for every trip.
Yeah.
Those three things.
Yeah.
You're not a chang fan?
It's a beer.
I thought we were mates.
Yeah. You know, I know the food.
Even I knew that one, Kate.
All right, well, US officials are headed to Moscow. That's just one of the stories making news around the world.
Donald Trump has threatened to devastate Russia's economy if Vladimir Putin doesn't agree to a ceasefire with Ukraine.
We have to see it's up to Russia now.
Putin's only response so far to a proposed 30-day truce, donning army fatigues during a visit to the Kursk region, where he's ordered Ukrainian troops be pushed out and treated as terrorists if captured. Yet another delay for stranded astronauts Sonny Williams and Butch Wilmore. Their SpaceX rescue mission has been scrubbed just 43 minutes before liftoff.
You are go to start 5.100 launch scrub.
Due to hydraulic problems on the pad. The crew will try to launch tomorrow, if the issue can be fixed by then. And the US might be facing an international exodus. A new survey has revealed 17% of Americans want to move overseas because they're worried about the direction the US is headed. Canada is their most appealing alternative, followed by Italy, England, Australia and Ireland.
Okay. Part of me is like, I really want to see this happen.
Yeah, because people say it every time.
They said it.
I'm moving to New Zealand.
Yeah, that's right. And particularly the celebrities of Hollywood love to say, if Trump wins, we're out.
Yeah.
Didn't Ellen DeGeneres leave? She left and went to the UK.
Well, I think she left a long time ago, a few years ago. But Rosie O'Donnell, I saw, has moved to Ireland.
So you're saying this is different? That it's actually happening now?
We know two.
It's not a big trend.
That's two more than we've seen before,
well,
isn't it?
yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I just find it such a strange thing to do because also, if you do believe that it's time to stand up and fight for your nation, what a chicken shit you are to flee the country, aren't you?
But maybe they don't. It's 17%. Maybe they don't want to fight. They're not the ones saying they want to fight. They're just saying they want to leave.
Oh, OK. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Now, with the Sydney show coming up, the price of some show bags has been revealed. And let me tell you, I am outraged.
Why the increase in price on Birdie Beetle?
Look, Birdie Beetle's got a lot more content this year, so it starts at $5, but we've got a Whiz Fizz chocolate show bag starting at $3.
Birdie Beetle, $5. We only like you because you were $2. Yes. That's the whole reason we eat Birdie Beetle show bags, is that they're $2. And I don't like this Whiz Fizz chocolate combination for $3. Obviously, for $3 a bag, it was never going to be pure Whiz Fizz. That to cut it with some chocolate, or fentanyl, as I call it. Good luck.
More project after this. We'll see you soon.
This is The Project. Welcome back.
As the Cyclone Alfred cleanup continues, it's become clear that South East Queensland's homeless community have been among the hardest hit. But some say their challenges have just begun.
Just in here. So we've got 4 units, we call them. That's Unit 1, we'll go to Unit 4. Sometimes the public get a little bit sick of it, so we kind of have to evict people back down to the campsite. But yeah, in the actual toilet.
Fagan Parker will be calling this home for the foreseeable future. A toilet block with no lighting, riddled with bugs and toads.
That is quite literally going to be my bed. Clean sheets up. Oh, wow. It gets better, I think. At least you like the hope so.
Fagan has been homeless for 4 years, but the park where she normally sleeps is underwater.
The mental health of people that have been doing this long, it gets a bit much, hey? It gets to everybody.
Fagan slept in an evacuation centre during the cyclone. When the shelters were closed this week, the 47-year-old was left with few options. Making things worse, late last year the council voted to end what it called its lenient approach on rough sleepers. As of yesterday, people who are caught camping on City of Moreton Bay land can be fined up to $8,065.
It did certainly do some damage, that's for sure. Suicide, I'd say. Suicide has become a big thing, because I know a few people in here are over it and it's constantly in tears. It's hard.
But the council says the move brings it into line with neighbouring regions and has the overwhelming support of the local community.
They've said that being homeless is effectively illegal and they're threatening people with fines, but every human has a right to food and shelter.
Paul Slater works with the homeless and says the crackdown feels particularly cruel in the wake of Cyclone Alfred.
These guys have nowhere to go. They're not getting offered assistance or support, and it really is a violation of their human rights.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone as stressed or as worried about what's next for them as what I've seen lately. I can only see that this is probably going to cost lives.
Bo Hayward runs Nourish Street, a local charity that provides food and help to those sleeping rough.
Even says have a great day.
Oh, thank you.
That's all right, no worries. The camps that they had are flooded, the tents that they had are ruined. They're walking out with absolutely nothing and no place to go.
The situation is dire across the region. At Eddie Highland Park, people are returning to flooded campsites.
My tent literally caved in on top of me when I was sleeping because it was that flooded and it was absolutely daunting.
Cheers. Awesome, no worries.
Kate says with the evacuation centres now closed, the government hasn't offered her housing alternatives.
They haven't offered a house or anything like that. They just put your name on a list. I'll wait another 10 years, I suppose.
That's probably the biggest lie that we're seeing at the moment from the government, is that everyone's being offered accommodation. We have people that are telling us that they are open and willing to take accommodation, but they're not even being offered it.
To help out, Bo and Paul are buying replacement tents and camping gear.
Thank you.
We've got a lot of work to try and get people back into somewhere to sleep. It's going to be a very busy few days where we're trying to find somewhere for these people because they've lost everything.
For Bo, homelessness is all too real. Just 18 months ago, he was sleeping rough with a 25-year meth addiction.
I had a rock bottom in my life, and at that point I decided that I'd had enough of life. So I decided I'd gas myself in my vehicle. The police found me and pulled me out unconscious.
After a stint in rehab, Bo was determined to make a difference. His charity now feeding 120 people 5 nights a week.
Had someone have come around and offered me something to eat and air, maybe I wouldn't have got to that point where I was about ready to end my life.
I know a lot of people in here didn't eat for at least 3-4 days during the storm. Big thanks to Bo and his team, just his crew for helping us out.
But now, as the homeless community prepares either to leave or stand their ground, Bo is ensuring they're well fed.
The way I see it is homelessness is still going to be out there. It might just be more hidden now.
Go on, brother.
I see them every day and I see their struggle, and I wish I could help more, but I can only do so much.
Seems unfortunate timing that would come in hot off the heels of the cyclone. I mean, that's the thing about it for me. I just wonder if was there not any mechanism by which it could be delayed so that at least you've got a whole region that needs to recover.
Yeah.
And homeless people need a lot of things, but part of what they need is the community infrastructure that they rely on, whether it be a park or something like that.
But it's a classic case, I think, of the cyclone exposing problems that were already there.
Yeah, of course. That's what disasters is. What COVID did, right? That's the nature of disasters. Anyway, for more information on how you can help the area's homeless community, head to our website. You'll also find the full statement there from the City of Moreton Bay.
And if you or anyone you know needs help, you can always call Lifeline on 13 11 14.
Welcome back, Western Project.
Well, with the US doubling down on the decision to hit Aussie exporters with a massive new tax, our government is refusing to hit them back. But the war of words is heating up. So are we in the middle of how would you describe it?
It is a period of civil trade war. Australia's conciliatory language out the window, with Senator Penny Wong making it clear.
We don't believe this is the way a friend ought to treat us.
A sentiment echoed by the Foreign Minister.
Given the friendship and alliance between our two countries, there ought to have been a different result.
As well as the Minister for Foreign Affairs.
We don't think the tariffs are justified. We don't think it's in the spirit of our friendship.
But there's not much friendship on display from the Trump team.
President Trump is playing for the strength of America, and we're not going to stand for China dumping, Japan dumping. Australia does a lot of aluminium at below cost.
It just shows that the Prime Minister doesn't have the gravitas or the ability to deal with the big issues.
He had a choice yesterday of backing in the Trump administration in this decision or backing Australia. He chose to not back Australia.
But despite the angry rhetoric, Australia still refuses to introduce retaliatory tariffs, saying that doing so would push prices up here at home. Instead, the PM is pushing citizens to spend patriotically.
I would urge Australians, if they're in a local shop, to look to buy Australian.
That message not quite as hard as the one coming from America's upstairs neighbour, which is going full retaliation.
That the government of Canada will be imposing reciprocal tariffs.
We will not back down.
And my government will keep our tariffs on until the Americans show us respect.
It's not just Canada hitting back. China and the European Union have also slapped the US with retaliatory tariffs.
We are responding with countermeasures worth 26 billion euros.
It's a trap!
The trade war is already taking its toll on the most vulnerable people in society, Trump's billionaire buddies. 5 of them have lost about $200 billion since attending his inauguration, the same figure that's been wiped off the ASX in the past month. As analysts warn of a possible recession, there are hints that Trump may back down from further tariffs.
It's a fact that he's changing his mind every single day.
It's a negotiation, my friend.
Right, so he doesn't mean it. So it's all part of a negotiation. And it's causing havoc to the stock markets.
It's not causing havoc.
Well, it is. They are tumbling.
Stop. Stop. I'm allowed.
So will Australia's non-aggressive approach shield us from the worst of it? Or is no one safe from the trade war possibly about to engulf the world economy?
I have a very bad feeling about this.
We all do. One American product we would never dream of slapping a tariff on is Steve Clemens. Steve, it's not looking good. I mean, the stock market is in free fall. Trump's billionaire mates are losing big time. Are these the kind of things that will finally force the president to back down?
It's very hard to imagine anything forcing Donald Trump to step down on tariffs. He loves tariffs. He says tariff is the most beautiful word in the English language. He knows what he's doing. He's disrupting the system. He's getting his name out in the press every day all over the world. And he's shaking up the system, and he's making people capitulate and beg and be obsequious to him And this is making him feel really good.
Except he's not achieving all that, because you see what Canada's response is, you see the EU's response, you see China's response. We could be on the verge of an escalation here that becomes a serious global trade war. So all the things you mentioned there are kind of short term, but what's the end goal of what Trump's doing here?
Well, there was a newscaster today said it's very unclear what the end goal is. Howard Lutnick, the Secretary of Commerce, who was in your clip just now, said the goal with Canada and Mexico is all about fentanyl. But is it about fentanyl? Because Donald Trump said he wanted to increase tariffs higher on Canada, above the 25%, because he wants Canada to be the 51st state of the United States. And it's a very, very unclear side of what looks like a win to Donald Trump, of when you think you've completed something, when you're not moving ahead. And at the beginning, Donald Trump seemed to be playing the markets. He would, give relief to Mexico and Canada. The markets would, come back down. Now the markets are ignoring it because they are so scared of this erratic behavior. So we don't know what Donald Trump's end game, other than he wants tariffs out there and he wants them to be known as Trump tariffs.
Well, would Trump even look kindly on Australia for not retaliating, or does that just to him look like weakness?
Well, it might. I mean, in the sense that one of the things Australia really has going for it is America has a huge trade surplus with you folks. You're not beating us, in the markets in trade. And the last time Donald Trump came out with a lot of tariff, Australia had an exemption. And I think your prime minister is angling for that same kind of thing. Unless you're going to begin exporting a lot of kangaroo meat, I understand Australis or something, that might frustrate the president. But, to some degree, I think right now, as we saw with Mexico, being contrite, accepting Donald Trump at a certain level, not retaliating, is getting favor from him. We're escalating with Canada right now. We're not escalating with Mexico. And maybe that's what Prime Minister Albanese is seeing right now.
Kangaroo meat, high in protein, very lean. Anyway, our Prime Minister hasn't been able to get Donald on the phone. Keeps going through to voicemail. What do you suggest? Should Albo slide into his DMs or just turn up at Mar-a-Lago unannounced?
Mar-a-Lago is a very, very good place to go. And I think it's a good place to show up. But look, I think the other thing that happened is, get on Fox News, get on these other places and just, thank Donald Trump. I think Howard Lutnick was saying today, the Secretary of Commerce, all Donald Trump is waiting for is a thank you from Australia for all that America has done for it, and that will solve things. Look, we're living in a weird time, and I want to be serious about this. We're living in a weird time. The markets are shaken. Anxiety is high among Americans. I think it's high around many of our trading partners around the world. And that goes for national security as well as economics. And so I think when you're in that level, I think what we have had 100 years of mateship with Australia that Donald Trump needs to be reminded of. And so I think, to a certain degree, to be serious, Donald Trump needs to come around to Australia because of the vital role it has played in the American story already.
No matter what happens, we'll always be your friend, Steve Clemens.
Thank you, and I will be yours too. Kangaroo meat aside.
Now, hey, where's our bloody national pride? Albo gave us a sniff yesterday of what we need to do to fight back against these, frankly, rude tariffs.
Do you feel that there is anything that can be done beyond diplomacy, or do we just have to rely on words?
One of the things that we can do is to buy Australian. Australians can have an impact by buying Australian good. You buy Bundy soft drinks rather than some of the American products. Buy Australian.
Buy Australian over American, you say? What a great idea. From now on, instead of KFC or Wendy's, we eat at Red Rooster, if we can find one. Possibly also Chicken Treat. Personally, I'll be sticking to a roast chook bachelor's handbag from Woolies, thank you very much. Instead of listening to US musicians like Taylor Swift or Billie Eilish, don't forget, we've got Bardo and Nikki Webster. Yeah. You know what we won't be missing, America? Strawberry Kisses.
Yeah.
And no more Netflix or Amazon Prime. From now on, we'll be watching 10 Play. Yeah. What's that? All the episodes of A Country Practice riddled with ads, I'm in. And finally, instead of Marlboro Reds, hop down to your local Chop Chop dealer before it gets fireball. I don't even smoke, I'm just doing it for my country. And so should you.
goosebumps.
Yeah,
so
moving.
patriotic.
Now, John McLean is the CEO of Bundaberg Brewed Drinks, the man of the hour. John, this has got to be a marketing dream. How are you feeling today?
Oh, I've got to say, I'm a bit stoked. Who would have thought that Elbow would talk about Bundy Ginger Beer, a little Aussie battler up in Bundy, making a drink that we're trying to take around the world? We're happy.
Well, you guys also do a creaming soda and a sarsaparilla. Do you happen to do any drinks that were popular after 1975?
That's a bit rough. Yeah, we do 13 different flavours. We've got some good ones.
What are they?
I appreciate that. That's lovely.
No, they're all delicious, John.
Little guava here.
Oh, hang on. You got a whole stash.
Yeah, I've got them all. I'm ready to go.
You should have a few. I've tried to sneak some in.
Oh, yeah, we've got them here, mate. Keep going, keep going.
The ginger beer is very good.
Cool. So, ginger beer is great. We use that's real Bundy ginger in that. We buy ginger from our local farmers, and we dehydrate it, brew it for three days, and then we bottle it, and then we send that to Australia and around the world, and we send 50% of our products overseas today.
Well, John, they need to stay in Australia.
Yeah, well, we're trying our best, and hopefully, Sarah, I hear you like a competitor's product, so I've made myself a drink, given you your own label, so we're going to try and convert you.
Yes! Oh,
goodness.
John, I love that, but is it just 1 calorie per drink, like Diet Coke?
Well, it's pretty close to 1 calorie.
Oh, as a Queensland girl, I'm happy to drink it.
Yeah,
drink
love
up.
it. And it contains your ginger.
Yeah.
Good.
Lovely.
It does contain ginger.
Yes. Hey,
Yep.
John, have you had a bump in sales since the PM's endorsement?
Well, it's hard to tell. We went into a few supermarkets this afternoon to have a look around, and we can see that there's holes in the shelves. It's always a good thing. But as the PM said, get out and support Australia. We're looking to how we can help Australian people out and help Australian shops. If you can get out there and buy Australian, it's better than buying a foreign brand. And we certainly hope that this does help sales.
So you picked up the fact that Sarah's a big Diet Coke fan, and you tried to win her over with a personalised bottle.
Yes.
I hate to break it to you, John, that's not going to work for everyone in Australia, because that's a hell of a lot of personalised bottles. Can you sell it to us another way? What makes Bundaberg ginger beer better than a Coke?
Mate, Bundaberg ginger beer is better than a Coke. We employ 250 people. We take real ingredients. We take time. We are crafting a beverage. And we send it and put it in a bottle, and no one else has it in a bottle like that. Everyone else puts it in PET. Yes. Glass, that is the taste that you want to have. And then we ship it to you. I personally grew up with Bundy ginger beer as a young kid on the sunny coast, and it's been there for me ever since a young kid. So, it's in my blood, but it should be in Sarah's as well. It's much better than that Diet Coke stuff.
I'm with you, John. Yeah. I'm with you. Look at that. You can't crush the can against your head, though. That's the...
you can if you believe in yourself.
No, that's not advisable.
You can do it, but only once.
John, thanks for your time, mate.
Cheers, guys. I hope you have a good night.
That is refreshing.
Oh, it's really great stuff.
Delicious. And bizarrely, my son, who's 15, loves that. I'm just saying Gen Alpha. They know what's up.
All I'm going to say is not the best segment to do during Ramadan. Anyway, the Immigration Department is reviewing an American influencer's visa after she sparked outrage by posting footage of herself stealing a baby wombat from its mother. Sam Jones outraged Aussies with her cruel stunt, which could see her banned from entering the country in future. As for Immigration Minister Tony Burke, he says he can't wait for Australia to see the back of her and doubts that she'll be back. So yesterday there were calls, now there's a review.
Do you think she should be deported over this?
Of course not.
But, she's got a bit of form. You saw her there picking up the echidna. She apparently picked up a shark. I mean, deportation.
She picked up a shark?
Like a baby shark out of a rock pool
Well, you know what?
well.
That's a problem that's going to solve itself. Isn't it?
Get her a job in a zoo.
Yeah.
She's made for that.
I'm surprised she can't be fined, at least.
I thought you were not allowed to fiddle with wildlife. Didn't you find that out, Cody?
That is brutal. I don't know. I'm not going anywhere near those things.
But it's just what? And let's cancel her visa.
Yeah, I think we like
Make
to
it a
deport.
teachable moment.
Yeah, I agree.
But you can do anything you want in this country. You can do a home invasion, not get deported. You fiddle with a...
I'll be back.
You know what I mean? It just seems excessive.
And I think people saw this vision of this little baby,
Of
kind of
course.
shrieking and the mum looking so
it's
distressed.
terrible.
And it just had that visceral reaction like, we need to do something, let's come down
why
fully.
is it that deporting people
I
seems
know,
to be our
yeah,
first
I know,
protocol?
Why is it?
Yeah, but it's
if
really
you've broken the
struck
law,
a
you
chord.
apply the law. That's what it seems to me. I don't
Yeah.
know. Anyway. All right, you're watching The Project. Back soon. We're back watching The Project.
Let's get some more news now. And Clive Palmer's vowed to make Australia great again during his address to the National Press Club today. He outlined the policies of his new Trumpet of Patriots party. And it all sounds remarkably similar to those of the Trump administration. Clive also committed to fixing the housing crisis and renewed a promise to cap interest rates at 3%.
You know what that means? That means Australians can live again. That means that our rentals will be available for people at a much lower price.
Got to be honest though, some of Clive's messaging, a little bit confusing.
I find it difficult to accept that Australians are going hungry every night. And I've got 2 Tim Tams that have been given to me here, and I'd like to thank the chef very much.
All right, that's our first non sequitur of the day.
Red rag to a bull, those Tim Tams. They're not lasting the whole chat. And something tells me, for some reason, chatting about geopolitics makes Clive hungry.
Do you believe then that Taiwan should be given back to China?
I don't believe that anyone should be given to anybody.
You can't eat snacks while talking about that sort of stuff. It takes the seriousness out. What's going on in Kiev? I could go chicken Kiev, I'll tell you what. And by the end, let's be honest, he was just rubbing people's faces in it.
Showed my wife the Tim Tam, so you can't stop me here.
It shocked me because I always saw Clive as a snack guy.
Would have been better if he ended with like the Tim Tam slam, don't you reckon?
He's looking for... He's putting a Tim Tam in another Tim Tam, I reckon. That's a Clive Palmer Tim Tam slam, and I love it.
Sandwich.
There should be more of that stuff, I reckon, at a press conference. Snacks.
Yeah, entertaining.
Having a bloody killer python while talking about a drone or something. Let's make it a bit more fun.
Well, you can lead off. I mean, you've got your Bundabergs here. You can...
I do have my Bundabergs. Just skull, and let's talk about something grim.
Let's do it. All right, let's move on. Unbelievable footage has revealed just how intense things got on the Gold Coast as Cyclone Alfred arrived in town last Friday night. CCTV cameras captured the moment a Korean restaurant's front window simply blew out, sending glass flying everywhere. The owner says that he could see the windows shaking and tried to keep the doors closed, but to no avail.
Brisbane's Olympic Committee has met with Squash Australia today as the sport vies for a berth at the 2032 Games. Squash didn't get a place in Paris. It missed out to breakdancing. We all know how that went. But it has been selected for the LA Olympics in 2028. So with the Australian Open underway in Brisbane, officials are using a drop-in glass court to showcase the game.
Yeah, so it's been in the pyramids in Egypt, in Grand Central Station in New York. There's infinite possibilities for where the court could go. You just give us a location and we can put it up.
Yeah, right.
That looks great.
Yeah.
But a hot box in Brisbane will be scorching.
Yeah,
and also,
actually.
don't you love the way, what can we do to make squash interesting? Put it in an interesting city.
Yeah.
Otherwise, nah.
Oh, it's kind of cool.
No, I think
it's all right.
Like a fishbowl effect.
Well, and the possibility of losing an eye.
Yeah.
I mean, what a great
There's so
game.
much.
Yeah, it's true.
there's a
It's
lot
like a
going
healthy
on.
version of a Hong Kong smoking lounge, don't you reckon?
Anything's healthier than that. really set the bar low for wellness. A Hong Kong airport smoking lounge.
But it would be an amazing addition to squash, I'll tell you that. What night do you sleep best? Which night of the week? A new survey has revealed Aussies sleep best on Sunday nights before the work week starts. Those that share a bed with a dog sleep even better, apparently, than those who sleep solo or with a cat. The survey also found women outsleep men on average by about 20 minutes a night, so that's an extra 5 days of sleep a year.
Oh.
Do you remember your last good sleep?
What?
Apparently it was Sunday night.
No, but no, that's what the studies say.
Yeah.
But
I don't
ours-
believe in any of that.
No.
Except for the last bit.
The
that I
extra
like
20.
to sleep. Yeah, I like to sleep more than my husband. Like sleeping Sunday night is often excruciating because you've got work on Monday and your mind's whatever. Sleeping with a dog is madness. My husband sleeps with a bitch every night and he hasn't had a decent night's skip in 20 years. None of it's true.
I feel like you're best qualified to answer this.
Yeah.
Is the Sunday night good sleep a result of a big Saturday night?
Oh, no, the UFC's on a Sunday, so I've had a big Sunday as well. And I work at night doing stand-up gigs and I'm on breakfast radio.
So you're exactly the wrong person to ask.
I've got 2 young kids. I'm getting probably minus 3 hours sleep a night, and I'm cool with that.
But are they
I'm not
good?
making it to 70.
Are they
Who
good
cares?
3 hours?
Yeah, it's a solid 3.
Yeah, good.
No, I got a colonoscopy on Friday. That was a great nap.
That was the Michael Jackson style nap.
Yeah, the propofol. Needed me milk.
I dream of that.
Don't try that at home, kids. We've got more Project and Mel Bracewell after the break.
Welcome to the Project. Nick.
To Werribee Zoo in Victoria, where these rhinos met for the very first time. Scintillating stuff there. They're just rhinos hanging out, right? But this zookeeper made it sound like they were attending some sort of high-powered business summit.
All the introductions went as planned, and very excited to see all the rhino herd out there and the group dynamics, and the meeting went extremely well.
Well, if it was a business summit, none of them were eating Tim Tams, so more professional than Clive.
Well, our next guest is one of our favourite Kiwi comics who encountered a rather unique relationship issue when she moved across the ditch.
When we first moved here to Melbourne, we were on the plane. I see he was using like the airplane Wi-Fi to search the phrase Australian singles. I was like, what is this bastard up to? Haven't even arrived yet. He's trying to cheat on me in advance. I asked him about it. I was like, why are you searching that? He's like, I'm trying to find a website where I can buy single Yu-Gi-Oh trading cards. I was like, that's so much worse.
Would you please welcome Mel Bracewell?
Yes.
What's going on here?
I just came from Glamour on the Grid, so this is what I've chucked together. No, I was very honoured to be asked to come on the project, but Thursday nights is netball training night, and this is not a bit. I genuinely, across the road is where we're training, and so I've had to duck in to do this, and I will duck out to go to my netball training, which I need to say netball, because every time I say netball training on TV, people think I'm saying nipple training, and that's on Fridays, so I need to make that clear.
And that's a different uniform.
I want to cut glass.
Is your work-life balance always just teetering on the edge?
Yes. I mean, I feel like... netball I have decided to make 100% of my personality now. And it's just I don't know, it just gets you out of work. Have you played netball before, Nick?
I played one charity game in year 12 in high school. It was a footy team versus the netball team, and I got kicked off because, of course, you can't, no contact, no blocking. A girl was shooting and I lifted my skirt and farted.
Sounds like a good move.
You've got to think outside the box.
I wondered why your photo was up outside the court saying, do not let this man in.
Yeah.
But I love playing mixed netball with guys because they're really intense. They take it very seriously. And there's nothing like seeing a fully enraged man wearing a bib. That's what I think.
The bib was a problem. So whenever I played netball at school, everyone made me play wing attack because my name's Waleed Ali and they thought it was
great.
And it's the worst position.
No, that's wing defence.
Yeah, OK, you're right. It's the second worst position.
Waleed made it the worst position.
Oh, come on. I wanted to shoot. I'd do something fun.
But you're feeding that you're doing the important part, I would say.
Hey, speaking of intense, you've had a very intense 24 hours, I believe.
Yes, I got off a plane from London yesterday, and I've decided that jet lag is a choice, and so now I've just been living my life as usual, and it's going great. I've had about 15,000 M&Ms in the green room, and I feel good.
I love that you think it's a choice, yet you've turned up to national TV in netball practice kit. Guys, it's all up here. It's a mental game.
I just decided to keep my schedule full. But yes, my last 24 hours have been intense. Not Jack Reacher intense, just a bit tired.
Well, how do you fend off the jet lag if it's a choice?
Gosh, you just got to say yes to things. So I genuinely did go to Glamour in the Grid last night, and I took the goodie bag and I ran. Yeah, no, I did. I was just like, I'll say yes to it because then I can't fall asleep. I'll just be. That's why I'm here. This is exciting.
Right. What are you wearing? Netball practice kit.
Yeah,
I think you'll find.
Exactly.
So you've got a new show.
Yes, I do.
Now your shows often have a story behind them. Last year, I think it was your story of finding some AirPods.
Yes, my AirPods went missing, and I confronted the person who stole them. Turned up at their work with Ursula Carlson.
It was extraordinary story.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you have a similar sort of?
It is genuinely netball related because I was invited to the Netball Australia Awards, and I made a series of very poor decisions that led me to the next morning getting an ADHD diagnosis. Because I was like, I made too many poor decisions. I left everything to the last minute, and I kind of put myself in a precarious position. And so the show is essentially me telling the story of this evening, but because I have ADHD, I also talk about my entire life. So that is the premise of it. And it's been full on being diagnosed. Like, do you know how triggering it is to be diagnosed with ADHD and then regularly appear on a show called Have You Been Paying Attention? It's too on the nose. It really is.
You're made for it. Hey, yesterday we spoke to one of your countrymen, Liam Lawson.
Oh my gosh.
And we asked him about kind of what it's like with Australia trying to claim him. Have a look.
Well, you know, you're also Australian now. I don't know if you know,
I
mate.
knew you were going to do that. No,
this is New Zealanders like Russell Crowe.
Yeah, so
you're an Australian guy.
I raced here once, and then they were like, "Oh, Liam Lawson is made from Australia."
It's unreal. We've just got another Aussie. Aussie. Oi, oi,
no.
No, come and say oi, oi.
No, I'm not doing it.
Oi, oi.
I'm from New Zealand.
Oi, oi,
New Zealand
oi.
flag. We've got red stars, not white stars.
Oi, oi.
I'm not doing it.
He doesn't want to be claimed, but you are on all of our shows. You're stealing all of our Logies nominations. I mean, we can claim you now, right?
Yeah, I'm almost insulted that I've known Sam for a long time. He's never tried to claim me. So, you know what? If this is not being shown to New Zealand, then absolutely. If it is,
say it then.
If it is, then go on. No
say it.
way.
Come on.
Aussie.
Ayo.
Well, Mel's show, a little treat. He's heading around Australia, foreign country apparently. Ticket details are on our website. Would you please thank Mel Bracewell?
Good luck. She's going to run. Gosh, she's so tall. Thank you, Kate Lakenbrook. Thank you, Nick Cody. Gogglebox is next. Bye.